Hello and welcome to episode 6 of my journey through Gran Turismo. So we're going to head back to the cafe and start menu book number 12, which is a championship this time, and as always just finish in the top 3. But obviously we will be trying for the win. So let's head back to World Circuits. And go down to the bottom for the championship. So it's 2 races. Guessing both are going to be 2 laps. I think one will be the normal way around and then one in reverse. So we're just going to stick with the Clio. And I have solved the brake issue I had in the last video, so shouldn't have that to worry about this time. I do apologise, pal. Missed my braking zone there. I know it's only against the computer, but there's no harm in letting him go back through. There we go, pretty simple win in the first race. So we can move on and head into race 2. Which, yeah, is in reverse. And I'll be honest, I don't think I'm a massive fan of this one. It's quite a technical circuit, going the normal way around, and I think this only makes that a bit worse. Braking there for? Got that one a bit wrong. I saw the other part of the track in the background and it really put me off. There we go, we've managed to grab the lead. Just try to not make any silly mistakes now, and especially around this corner like we did last lap. So another pretty simple win. That gets us obviously first in the championship as well. Which gives us a random car, and we've got the Chevy Camaro. Which I assume means the next menu book will be something to do with American muscle. We've now unlocked Extreme in the tuning shop as well. So we'll head back to the cafe and complete this menu book. And we've unlocked missions, which is actually going to be menu book 13. So what we'll do is we'll go into that. So we'll head over to missions, which again is bronze or better, and it's the pass at Deep Forest. So yeah, overtake all cars by the finish line, and colliding with any other car will disqualify you from the mission. So just a case of being careful and watching out for AI doing AI things. Almost lost it on the exit there, but that one nice and easy. So there we go, that's that done. So I'll head back to the cafe again. And we've unlocked Blue Moon Bay Speedway and Laguna Seca and Willow Springs. Which moves us on to menu book 14, which is a Mustang collection. So we did receive a roulette ticket, so we'll go and open that. I'm sure we won't get all exciting, but you never know. Yeah. Bit of a waste of time, but there we go. Yeah, so let's get menu book 14 started, which as I mentioned is the Mustangs. So I head over to World Circuits, and I'm assuming it'll be the 3 American tracks that we've just unlocked, which it is. So we'll start off at Blue Moon, and we've got to use an American FR car, which is the Camaro we've just unlocked. And that'll unlock us the Mustang Boss. Not really the way to take that corner. Do have a lot of understeer, and we don't really have the top end pace for this, so we're just gonna have to just see what happens. It's looking like it's going to be another one that requires a couple of upgrades though. Since yeah, obviously we're on lap 2 and we're still 9 seconds behind the leader. Yeah, I think again tyres will definitely help us on this one, and I think a turbo will also be very good. I mean, the leader's basically 3 seconds a lap faster. So obviously got no chance of winning as we are. So yeah, let's jump back out and go to the tuning shop. So as I mentioned before, we did unlock Extreme in after one of the earlier races, but what we are just going to do is get the Sport Softs and go to semi-racing. Oh no, we can't get a turbo for this car. Can get a supercharger though. Do we want low end or high end? Let's just, I think we'll go for low end, which will just give us a bit more pickup speed out of the corners. It's not really going to make a great deal of difference for Blue Moon, but especially the other two tracks that we're going to go to, it should definitely help a bit more there. So as you can probably tell, we're already massively faster than we were before. Passed someone before we've even got to turn 1. But this car does handle like a boat, so with the extra power, that's obviously even worse. And it does still max out at 134 mile an hour, but we can carry some more speed through the corners. Now we've got the better tyres on. Oh, it's got 235 this time. Yeah, could probably do with an upgraded transmission, but for now we're not gonna bother with that just yet. See if we can get the first place without it. So yeah, as you can see, we do have the speed through the corners, but as soon as we get onto the straights, we just don't have a high enough top speed. Anyway, that gives us a second. And unlocks us the Mustang Boss. So I think we're going to do is just do the other two races, which should be slightly easier in this car, as it's not really about top speed. And then once we've unlocked not this Mustang Mach, the Mustang GT I think it is, I think that will be good enough to go back to Blue Moon and win, and any of the other two races, being this one or Willow Springs, if we need to. But again, this is another car that you want to be doing as much as you're braking as you can in a straight line, because they do get very twitchy at the rear, as you've probably just seen, if you brake on angle. So you do just have to be as careful as you possibly can. Almost lost it there, and going into the corkscrew isn't going to be much better, but we've managed to get through there safe enough. So yeah, just for that low RPM supercharger, we've got quite good acceleration out the corners, which really does help, and just gives us that advantage over the AI cars. On this sort of track, at least. But not if you do stuff like that. Just made that a bit more difficult for myself then. Yeah, so times like this you've just got to try and remember that you can't just overdo it on the brakes into some of these corners, because you will end up in a spin. And I mean, luckily this lead car is holding up the Dodge Viper, which has given us a great chance to take the lead back. So yeah, not pretty, but that's the first for race 2. And that's the Mustang Mach-1. Which means we can now move on to Willow Springs. Which will unlock us the Mustang GT, and then once we've got that, we'll go back to Blue Moon and see if we can get the first place in that one with that car as well. But yeah, if you do enjoy sliding through corners, maybe not quite like that, but yeah, this is definitely the sort of car you want to be doing it in, or the easiest car to be doing it in at least. not really my idea of fun. I would like to think I can go onto the brakes and not have the car just decide to turn whichever way it wants, like it just has done. Right, let's I think we'll restart that one, since I'm stuck in the gravel. That a mile away from where I want to be. Trying to avoid that car has just caused the same problem. It does just show it's how easy it is to make mistakes. These sorts of tracks where there's just obviously no runoff, the tiniest curbs you've ever seen, so you don't even have just a little bit of leeway with those. So you do just have to be extremely careful, especially when you're in cars that just don't want to go in a straight line. Or perhaps do want to go in a straight line, but obviously you're wanting to turn, which isn't very helpful. But yeah, you've just got to try and remember to be extra careful with your brake and throttle inputs. Like I say, especially when you've got steering angle. So we're not going to make the same mistake again there. We're just going to brake extra early in a straight line and just use the throttle to get round the remainder of the corner. Same again into turn one, just try and get all this braking done before we have to turn in. Try not to get pushed out onto the gravel this time by the car uppers inside. Gone a bit wide there. Managed to hang on to it, which I'm not actually sure how, but we did. And again, into there, you really don't want to be braking too hard when you still turn into the right, because as soon as you apply too much brake force while still turning right, you're just gonna spin to the right and end up just flying off the track facing the wrong way, or when you go to turn left, it'll just snap back on you and send you off. So try and ease off the throttle into it and brake as much as you can in the straight line before you go into the left. But yeah, so we've managed to get the win there after a few tries. But yeah, it wouldn't be funny if it were too easy. So that unlocks us the Mustang GT. So we're going to head back to Blue Moon, sorry. Swap to the Mustang and see if we can get the win in that with that car. Should have much better top speed, which will obviously be helpful with it being a tri-oval. I think that's what the class does anyway. So another car that does not want to turn or go in a straight line once it's tried to turn, so just gonna have to be extra careful. Does look like it's got enough pace to challenge though, so just try and get used to the way it drives and see if we can get the win with it. It's already got more top speed than the Camaro did by quite a long way. But yeah, it's just once you get into this part of the track, obviously it just makes a huge difference. I wasn't sure how that we're going to go into there, so just thought I'd back off and see, but no, it's definitely going to need a decent bit of brake. Yeah, we are gaining on the leaders, so just try and remove the mistakes, get the power down as early as we can out the corners, and see if we can get up there. Going to end up being awkward with them two battling, hitting the back end of him just then wasn't the best idea though. But so we've got one lap left to catch up, a couple of seconds. Again, just try not to make any mistakes, or any major mistakes at least, and hopefully we've got the top end speed just through this section to basically catch up. What should we do? Drag race to the line. We're just pulling it in front. And there we go. That's first in all three of those races now, so we don't have to worry about coming back to those. So let's head back to the cafe again. And that's the Mustang collection completed. So we've unlocked Daytona International Speedway, and as I say, completed menu book number 14. Which moves us on to menu book number 15, which is the Chevrolet Camaro collection, which sorry, I can't get my words out, which we will be going through in episode number 7 when I come back next time with that. So that's it for now from me, and I'll see you next time.